I've always been a pretty average solo player. I'd make finals in the Victory Cup and might get to endgame once or twice in those finals, but my placements were improving. Then, this season happened, and it hasn't gone particularly well so far, to say the least. So, after not qualing 3 weeks in a row, I made the decision to basically just grind really hard to try to qual the next week, and once again, it could have gone better. Yep, GG. But then, Epic added another cash cup, so I tried one more time to qual to finals, and I'm not going to reveal anything, but you'll have to watch the end of the video to find out if I do. So, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into it. Jumping into game 1, my drop is absolutely atrocious, so I have to divert, but not before being hit for 7 by the player who outdropped me.
Why?
Because I got outdropped, I had to land at this hut here, which I know how to loot pretty well because it's on my loot path, when I actually managed to drop properly. I loot up and rotate to this hill, where I managed to get a chainsaw. I was going to loot the plane wreck, but noticed this kid here going for it as well, so I decided to sneak up on him. He clearly wasn't the best player. Then, another kid tries to key me, and even with my missed shot, I clean up the kill pretty easily. I rotate across the map, and I see this kid here, who I do manage to beam, but I realise it's probably not the best idea to key him when he set out to beam me across the zipline. I try my best to rotate dead side, because there are going to be fewer players there, and it also means I can get the dash water, which is really useful for rotation. I notice this player dashing here, and then I know I can beam him when he's distracted. He literally just gave up. I think this kid thought I was the kid who I killed, so he came to fight me. And even though I crack him here, I know there's another player on the bridge, so I just keep rotating. I box for a while, then can use the dashes I got before and my fizz to easily rotate around dead side to next zone. Because I'm on dead side, I can get deep into the next zone, but then I have to rotate all the way back down when zone pulls on the next rotate. But, since I got dashes before, I can just dash all the way across zone to get to center. The chainsaw was actually really useful throughout the whole tournament, and I actually think it's been an underrated item for rotation since it was added. Even though I was almost in half-half, I wanted to get deeper in and to get some elevation, because this always makes later rotations far easier. I'll just let this endgame play out.
Why are you chasing me, man? How have I got height here?
I'm still not really sure how I got height, but I'm still kind of embarrassed I didn't manage to win this game, all because I made a stupid peek. I didn't get outdropped this game, but I did lose the 50-50, so now I'm back down to this hut. Once again, I loot up, actually decide to farm a bit of metal this game, and rotate over to this hill. There's a player at Redline Rig, and I know this loot is nowhere near good enough to definitely win me this fight, so I run away to loot this place here. However, there's a player there too, so I have to run away again. I end up playing Storm a bit to farm up to almost cap metal and get some shield. Then, I rotate straight down through the centre of the map to try to get into a good position, but here when I'm farming, I get beamed and to be honest, panic slightly. Luckily he doesn't key me, so now I try to rotate away, but run into this player. After a lot of sitting and him spraying, he runs away. I try to rotate dead side and know I need some more loot if I'm going to have any chance, so I beam this kid and key him. I used the spare mats I got to base up, then just sit in the box because I ended up pulling the next zone. When this next zone pulls, I ensure I'm on some elevation before boxing up. Luckily I pull the zone after that, so I don't have to try to rotate through everyone and I continue to sit in this box. I'll just let this endgame play out from now.
I'll just chainsaw right through the middle of everyone. Clearly answer that question is yes. That's exactly what I do. And it's just like, fine. I don't think this lobby is very skilled. Spraying you out. This positioning could not be worse. That was tracking. Oh. Doesn't matter. Wait, you didn't actually take height there, you just landed on me and dipped. What? Jeez.
There was pretty much no way I was winning that after losing all my mats fighting for height, but after that game I was 294th, which really isn't too bad. Anyway, moving on to game 3. I got outdropped again, but I didn't divert this time, which was my main mistake.
Whoa.
I had no mats and the worst loadout, so I just couldn't have won that. Game 4 I got outdropped and lost the 50-50, and I was so close to dying, but just about managed to avoid it. While farming the hut, I saw footsteps here, but it seemed that actually there was no one there, so I carried on looting and then fizz padded. I found Nitrodrome only half looted, so I looked around there in an attempt to get a chainsaw, as well as getting cat metal. I didn't manage to find a chainsaw, which made the rest of the game much harder. I got back to the dash water and tried to get to dead side, but got keyed by this player.
Oh, yes. Key me? Yep. What are we doing? Yeah, 125.
When he realised I wasn't actually that bad, he just insta-disengaged me, and to be honest, I wasn't very happy about it.
You.
I kept moving dead side and basically just trying everything I could to find a chainsaw. I didn't manage to, so I just had to keep rotating on foot and using my fizz, boxing as soon as I got to the edge of zone. I tried to take this fight here because I thought this kid might have had mobility. Turns out he didn't. Just take a look at my half-half rotation.
Bro, joking.
Yeah, not brilliant. Straight into the player on the hill. Kinda unlucky someone boxed me, but it was a terrible play to make in the first place. I finally won a drop in game 5, so looted up, went down to the hut to find it completely looted by the kid who ran for my drop. Luckily, Brawlers was entirely unlooted, but I still didn't manage to find a chainsaw anywhere. I was basically fighting anyone at this point, just to get a chainsaw, and I'll let you watch this fight.
What? He's got a chainsaw. Mate! And he just gets out because he's got a chainsaw. Because I don't get a chainsaw this game. You're joking. I hope he fights me. I hope he fights me.
So, now I'm in shambles and I decide to try to kill this kid, just in case he had a chainsaw.
Probably what? What, mate?
I should not have jumped in there, and now I only had enough time to play out one more game to qual. So, game 6. I needed a top 15 with no kills or a 1 kill top 20 to qual. I got my drop fully uncon and was pretty happy about this gold scar.
Yo. Yo.
I farmed to almost cap metal at the hut, then moved into Brawlers to try to get a chainsaw, to no avail. So, as the last ditch attempt, I rotated down here, to find it completely unlooted.
Holy sh**.
I was going to take the pad here, but for obvious reasons I couldn't, so I had to go back down and use the chainsaw to rotate across dead side. I fizz padded into centre, built a massive tower and literally just sat there. I actually managed to get a kill having only done 22 damage and without leaving my tower.
Wait. The poor kid. The poor kid. Oh no.
When zone finally pulled away, because there were so few players around me, I could just chainsaw and get to the side that was opening. Something I've noticed playing this tournament is that it's not usually that difficult to rotate into the opening part of partial zones, and it's often the best position to be in, especially if you can get onto some elevation. This kid tried to fight me here, but I literally just need to get a top 20 at this point, so I get as far away from him as I can. I get elevated here, because being elevated is always the best position to be in, and try to just wait for 5 more people to die. However, this doesn't happen before moving, and you can just see what happens.
Come on. I'll point for this way. It's me. I don't actually know. Okay. I'm back. Let's go.
So, yes, I qualled with 137 points. On to finals. At this point, I'm just happy with qualling for the first time in 4 weeks, so I'm not really expecting anything in finals, but I might as well try. Game 1, I actually got my drop, but get shot from somewhere. I still don't really know where, to be honest. I rotate down to the hut and get a chainsaw immediately. I get to cat metal at the hut and take the normal rotation path to get to dead side. My only real issue here was that I had no medkits, but I could deal with that later. I probably should have fought this to try and get meds, but instead I took the pad so I got beamed by him, and then everyone else when I got further in.
Oh! Woo! Woo!
Now all I had was 15 fizz and a dream. I got a big from Grim, then found some minis here, so now I had no fizz or white at all. I boxed center zone, then when zone almost pulled from me, took a chainsaw rotate to get further in.
Oh my god!
That kid kinda scared me, so I panicked this rotate a bit, but managed to get in fine. Honestly, I'm so happy with my rotates here, because they're always all the way around dead side, and I barely got shot. It was a bit of a misplay to go into the bunker here, but I did get a fizz, so maybe it was worth it. I'm not sure how I got hit for this much from this far away, but I was now forced to just white line the rotate in. I'd like to take this moment to comment on how ridiculously stacked this game was. It was going to active surge, which I don't think I've ever experienced before this early in a solo victory finals. This rotate is really a lesson in why you should save dashes, because I made this rotate basically for free, and then when it came to first moving, I could use a fizz dash as well. You can just watch the end of this endgame.
Bro!
I can't believe this game stayed so stacked, but it was a really bad play to go for height here, so this death was pretty deserved. Game 2 I got outdropped again, so went hut and tried to farm max metal, but got beamed, so I did this weird rotate which I'd never done before, but basically just got back to my normal rotation path. I was looking everywhere for a chainsaw or a fizz, but just couldn't find one. Then I got jumped, and this fight, it wasn't the best.
I coned him. That was my best chance. This kid's shit as well. I'm just full panicking.
Anyway, I took some time to reset before going into game 3, because I knew if I went in immediately, I'd just panic and throw again. And I have to say, this was definitely a good decision. I got outdropped, so went to hut, farmed some metal, and took the normal rotation path. By this point though, I still hadn't found a chainsaw, so I was looking everywhere I could. I took the ultimate dead side rotate round this side of the map, and got back to my favourite part of the map, Dashwater. I got so lucky and just found a chainsaw lying on the ground here, and I now basically knew that I could do really well this game. I got hit here, so kinda regretted dropping the bigs for the minis, but oh well. I got cat metal and doom stat, then to stop myself from doing anything stupid, just based up this whole building. Even though I was in here, I wanted to get close towards the centre to make the next rotate easier, so I just chainsawed to this hill, which meant I had a really good position. This zone pull was quite unlucky, but I managed to make it relatively easy with the chainsaw, trying to get as far into zone as possible, while still being pretty elevated. This turned out to be a good idea, because I could then rotate to the next zone with no trouble at all. This game was significantly less stacked than game 1 of finals, so I knew I had a chance here. This rotate wasn't amazing because I got beamed, but I boxed up pretty much right next to zone, so when I opened more I could chainsaw up the side of the hill to get a more elevated position. I'm not sure why I was getting fought here, but I used this as a sign to rotate to frontside on moving zones early, and from now I'll just let you watch this endgame.
I didn't mean to do that, man. Turned into this.
I'm actually really happy with how that last game went, though I did panic a bit at the end and waste a few too many mats. If I'd done a few things differently or got one more refresh, that really could have been my game, and especially after not qualing 4 weeks in a row, the 16th and 7th place in finals is not bad at all. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.